Latrell Wrightsell. And I didn't talk about him thus far because he didn't play in either of these two games. In the Grand Canyon game, he leaves with what is an apparent concussion. Some people I know, close to the team, say that it's a head injury. Not exactly sure if it's fully a concussion, whiplash, but it is definitely a head injury of some sort. And Nate mentions we're not going to risk a player's long-term health for a potential single game. So Latrell does not play in the North Carolina game, and he does not play in the Clemson game. Coming into this tournament, Alabama had lost and not played well in a few games that they were missing Latrell Wrightsell. Partially due to lack of defense and lack of effort on defense, partially due to tired legs, and partially due to the offense just was not performing and was not shooting as well. That can happen if you're missing your best shooter. Latrell Wrightsell statistically is our best shooter. So coming into these games, it was pretty obvious why a lot of people were on Carolina to win the game, or may have been on Clemson, especially after Clemson won in Coleman Coliseum to win the game, with Alabama being shorthanded without Latrell Wrightsell. However, all of this being said, we have some news for this coming week for the Final Four. As of recording today, Tuesday, April the 2nd, Latrell Wrightsell played in practice today. He did not practice on Monday, but he did practice today before the team boarded their flight, and they are now in Phoenix. Per Nate Oates on the Hey Coach radio show, and again today, as long as Latrell keeps progressing along and does not have any setbacks, they do expect for him to be able to play in Saturday's game in the Elite Eight. In the Final Four against UConn. That is huge news. Obviously, it adds another shooter, it adds another ball handler, it adds another defender, and against a UConn team that has been absolutely elite this entire season, having all of your shooters available and ready is massive. So I will mention that. I will say I did in the airport, I don't know if anybody follows me on Twitter, but I did actually put out a tweet that I actually sat across from Latrell's parents in the LA airport the morning after the Elite Eight game on the way home. They were headed back to Omaha. I was headed obviously back to the Birmingham area. I live here in Tuscaloosa. But we were on a flight headed to Denver. That was where both of our layovers were. And I had a good talk with them. Awesome people. Really, really nice. Really proud of him and obviously them. And, I think that having him back in this game will be huge. You can definitely tell that he, wanted to be out there with his guys. But I do understand why the training staff and the doctors did not have him play in this game. But if we can have him for that UConn game, that gives you an additional player to be able to shoot some threes, guard on the perimeter, and hopefully be able to win that UConn game.